Hi everyone, and welcome to K Money Quilting. My name is Regina Casimir. I just wanted to come up here and give you an update on what's going on with my Monday is for Munchkins. Uh, on my last video, I told you that my next baby quilt was for my friend Dolores, and I didn't know if she was having a boy or a girl, and I was thinking about doing this pattern, counting sheep, that I picked up at the Houston Festival. Well, I heard back from her, and Mama's having a baby boy. And I don't think I'm going to do this one after all, because I was going to use these Kimberbell Basics that I have, these charm packs. And if you look at the colors, I would think that they're more geared for a little girl. So I'm gonna save these for when I know I'm gonna need a baby girl baby quilt. So then I started thinking, a little boy, I know that the last time I talked to Dolores, I believe she said that the baby shower was Winnie the Pooh themed. And I don't have any Winnie the Pooh fabric, but I do have baby bear fabric that I picked up from Lynn. I probably like in November or December, she was having a de-stash, and I think I showed these to you all. This really nice, a pretty blue bear fabric, and then it came with, I'm having a pull from underneath my cat. Fatty McPatty is right here laying down on the fabric that I pulled. And then it has, this is a companion fabric. This is like a light blue grayish color. And these bears have crowns on them. See how they have a crown? And but these bears do not have crowns on them. So anyhow, I had these two companion fabrics, and I thought that there was another fabric that I bought with these, but I can't seem to find it. So I found other things, and I was thinking of doing a trip around the world. I just finished looking at Eleanor Burns' from like 11 years ago, and her method of doing a trip around the world. I've done one before. It's actually my very first baby quilt that I ever made. I think it's have it on my baby quilt parade, and it's the very first one. It's pink and yellow. I found this baby brown polka dotted fabric that I believe blends well with this. I can't ever seem to get great lighting. So I found that. I need about 6 to 7 fabrics to make this trip around the world nice. So I tried to look for more blues than browns, but I didn't have. I found this stripe with some lint on it. Of course, blue lint. This stripe pairs well too. And then I remembered, well, when I made that horse quilt, I still had some of the Starry Night. I'm calling it Starry Night. I don't even know what the name of it is. Would you like to know what? Oh, it's a keepsake calico. I think this probably came from where, Joann's maybe, or Hobby Lobby. So that seems to go so far so good. And then also that lattice, that brown lattice that I used these two in that horse quilt. And now I need a darker, something darker, and so I had this dark brown. I love the shade. Oh my gosh, what is this? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to look. I love the shade of this brown, but you let me know. What do you think? Look at the pattern. Is that okay for a baby boy? I'm thinking okay. It's just leaves and swirls, right? There's no flowers. And there's a big piece of hair here, of course, and some more lint. Got to use my lint roller. So this is what I'm going to go with to make a trip around the world. Yeah, that's what I settled on. So I'm going to start cutting this up. I'm just going to go by what Eleanor Burns said on her video. I think she said 4-inch strips. Go check out her video. She's pretty cool. She's got 2 videos on a trip around the world. One from like 11 years ago, and then one from like 4 years ago. And the one 4 years ago, she's using an AccuQuilt. So I didn't even bother looking at that one because I don't have an AccuQuilt. And that's okay. I don't need an AccuQuilt. I don't have space for one. So anyhow, that's what I'm going to do for my friend Dolores' baby bear trip around the world. And I'm going to play another video right now after I get off, because I started thinking, I don't think I ever showed you all the 2 quilts that I gave away to 2 special boys that have come into my life this past year. I don't have any grandchildren. I mean, I have a lot of grandchildren, but what I mean to say, I have step-grandchildren, I guess you could say. They're still my grandchildren. But like my children, my 2 girls and my son haven't had their own children yet. But my son is hopefully soon going to marry his fiancée, Rose, which I think is a blessing to our family. I know that when he told me about her, and I think they've been together for like 2 years now, right? When he told me her name was Rose, I just knew in my heart that she was going to be the one, because my mom's name was Rosemary, and then my daughter's middle name is Rose, so she's a great fit in our family. And she has a little boy that's come, and he's 5 years old now, and he is so adorable. I love him to death. And anyhow, I made him a Christmas quilt. Well, I made him a quilt for Christmas. It's not Christmas themed, but I made him a dinosaur quilt. Some of you may have seen me making it on, like I used it as I made it as leaders and enders. I cut it all up and I used it as leaders and enders while I was making other quilts in November and December. So I took some of that footage and I put it together, and lo and behold, I didn't even know this. They moved into a brand new house. They just bought a house and they moved into a brand new house, and he's got his own restroom. Yeah. And he was so happy when he saw his dinosaur quilt because it matches his restroom, because apparently his restroom is all dinosaurs. So that's one little boy that's come into my life. The second little boy, he's not too little. I think he's like 11 or 12. He's in middle school, I believe. And my stepson married. He recently married about a year or 2 years ago, and she also had her own children, and her son is now my grandson, right? And so I made him a quilt as well. It's actually a quilt that I had already made a while back, and I was just waiting for the right person to give it to, and lo and behold, it was him. It's a fun quilt with fun little figures on it, pictures. The graphics on the fabric is just delightful, and every time I see and meet with this young man, I'm not going to call him a little boy anymore, but he's a young man now because he's in middle school, and he's musically inclined. I'm a music teacher, right? So anyhow, every time I see him, he's got the biggest smile on his face. He's just such a happy young man. And so I knew that this quilt was perfect for him because it has snowmen all over on the back, and the snowmen all have big giant smiles just like his. So I'm just gonna run some clips after this right here, so and just enjoy. And hopefully I'll have this trip around the world to show you next week, maybe 2 weeks. We'll see. All right. Thank you all for coming, and see you all next time. Don't forget, sew something is great therapy. So I started cutting out a new project. Oh my gosh. This is that Villa Rosa that I showed you that I bought at festival. This is going to be a Christmas present for a little boy. See, it's got the cute little dinosaurs in there. So now I have two projects that could be my leaders and enders. That peach preserves baby blanket, and now this one. I don't know what I'm going to name it. I don't want to name it Nashville. I don't know. We'll see what I name it. Dinosaur for now. Dino something. Okay, so I forgot to show you my leaders and enders. I told you earlier in the video that I was using my dinosaur quilt as my leaders and enders, and look how much I got done last night using this as leaders and enders. All the sashings are complete, every single one, from the top one, all the inner sashings, I guess you could call them. And then I actually sewed these sashings on this row and this row as well. Oh, and this row too. So I got 4 rows of sashings. Yeah. So I'm going to pull those down right there and get those done for leaders and enders. And then I just got to put the rows together. Sew that top sashing to this row and then sashing to this row. And then voila, I got me a quilt. And then I'm not putting any extra borders on this one because I wanted a small blanket, because this one's going to a 5-year-old. But yeah, see how quick it came together? Just using it as leaders and enders. So that's something to think about, huh? Look, friends. Isn't that deer so beautiful? Yes, I'm here at my machine. I am doing some meandering free motion quilting, and I solved the problem of my machine skipping on the free motion quilting, and I think my foot, my free motion foot, I guess got old, or maybe too much usage. I don't know. Is that a thing? I ordered a new one, and this one's working perfectly. No skipping going on this quilt. This quilt top I've had already made for quite a while. I guess I made it back in, I want to say, maybe 2022. It was one of Pat Sloan's well, I guess it wasn't one of Pat Sloan's things, but it was the jelly roll quilt for the National Quilted Jelly Roll Day. And I had this jelly roll that I got from Walmart, and it has some really neat, look, there's a little deer right there, and then it has some trees, some snowflakes, and it says the word peace. And then here's my favorite. Look at that snowman. When I saw this fabric at Walmart, I think I got it like on clearance. It was like an after Christmas thing. And I just kind of like bought the whole box that they had there. And that snowman fabric I was drawn to it. And I think the reason why I was drawn to it is because it's on green instead of being on blue, right? And so that's what I'm backing this quilt with. Look at all these beautiful snowmen. Oops, sorry. I hope I didn't make y'all sick there. Look at them. Aren't they so cute? I'm naming this quilt Winter Fun. I cut out some letters because I ended up making the top part of the quilt Well, you'll see it when I put it on the wall. But I put a wider border. I'm not at the top here. This is the bottom. I don't know, where am I at? Oh, here they are. I put a wider border on the top of the quilt because the quilt was turning out to be square, and I really don't care for square quilts too much, so I put a taller or wider border at the top of this, and I appliqued some letters, and I titled it Winter Fun because of all the fun little cute things that are going on. Look at the ornaments, the baubles, and then the plaid, of course, classic plaid. And this quilt has been sitting on my shelf waiting and waiting for the perfect person to give this to. And oh, look at the wreath. Isn't that neat? And so, since there's so much fun going on in this quilt, there's a little boy that has come into my life now. And every time I see a picture of him posted on YouTube, on Facebook, he has the biggest and brightest smile. So this quilt is going to him. But once I'm almost done. I've been quilting it all day today. Today I basted it. I put the applique letters, and I'm quilting it. And I ran into a little snag though. I didn't have quite enough backing. I think I missed like probably like right here. See? And I think I have some leftover jelly roll of these, so I'm gonna look for them, and then I will go in. I should have done that before I started quilting, but I was too anxious to start the quilting, so that's okay. I work backwards, no problem to me. But I'll show you when I finish quilting. I'm almost done. I only have a little bit left, and then I'll hang it up on the wall so you can see the whole thing. All right, friends, my winter fun quilt is done. I already trimmed it. I thought about showing you how I trim, but I don't know. Don't worry about that. That's gonna get caught up in the seam. So when I put the binding. But look, I wanted to show you. I found the perfect binding in my stash. Isn't that cool? This stripe. Look what it's going to look like. Nice, right? The only thing is, I bought it at a thrift store. Did I leave the... Oh, yeah, here it is. It came in 2 pieces. And one piece had a price, but the other piece did not. So I'm wondering if... No, it was sold separately because it says 1 of 1. It said 1 of 2 or 2 of 1 or whatever, then they would have been sold together. So I'm assuming that I probably paid $1.99 for this piece as well. And they're both about a yard, but guess what? They're not with the fabric. It looks like both of these pieces were the same, came from the same width of fabric, and then somebody just cut it down the middle, because they're both about 22 by 36 pieces. So I'm gonna have a lot of seams on my binding, but I'm okay. I'll show you the final product in a little bit. All right, see you in a bit. You guys look how the binding looks on this winter fun quilt. Didn't it? Oh, look at that. It came out so well. Look at how pretty it is. I had just enough to use just one chunk of that fabric, so I still have some other pieces. And look, I only needed to add about that much to the bottom, because I didn't want to have to cut it to make it shorter. So yeah, I know it's a little crooked. It's about an inch there, and it's about a half an inch here. It's funny. Anyhow, but yeah, I just wanted to show you the binding up here in the front, packing it up to ship. How pretty. And then I use this label right here. I had an extra 2-inch strip. It's part of the, let's see, oh yeah, look good. See? Perfect, right?
It's K-Money Quilts. Taking my throne, sewing up dreams with the style of my own. K-Money Quilts, we're on a roll, stitching it up with heart and soul. K-Money, K-Money, K-Money,
K-Money Quilt.